The gospel of grace speaks about a completely new arrangement in our relationship with God. It's an entirely new start, and we have to appreciate just exactly what Christ has obtained for us in his absolute victory over Satan. David and Goliath is such a helpful type for us of this victory, where Jesus is for us David in that story, Goliath is Satan, we are the doomed and fearful Israelites. And David's victory over Goliath was absolutely decisive. He cut his head off, he was not going to come back. And the Israelites all received the benefits of that victory, although they had done nothing to achieve it. So I think this speaks to us really about Jesus' victory over Satan. It is completely and utterly victorious. He has crushed our enemy. And the enemy no longer has the power and dominion over us that he might have had before. When we were all as born into Adam, we are all born into the consequences of Adam's failure. And so we're under the curse of sin, we're under the curse of death, we're under the law. But now that Jesus has crushed our enemy, he no longer has that dominion over us. The Bible says we've been taken from the dominion of darkness and into the kingdom of the Son whom he loves. Satan doesn't have that authority over me anymore. Sin is no longer my master. The sting of death has gone for us. And the law no longer applies to us. So the gospel of grace is the most thrilling, extraordinary new arrangement with God. Yeah, Paul, he says, I will not be mastered by anything. He says this to the Corinthians. I find this an extraordinary verse. I will not be mastered by sin. I will not be mastered by fear. I will not be mastered by poor self-image. I'll not be mastered by anything, because now Jesus is my master. Satan has no dominion over my life. This is the gospel of grace. Satan can't reach me. The only power he has over me is the power that I give him. We live in a broken world. We live with the consequences of a broken world. We get sick, we die. But spiritually, he can't touch me unless I allow him to. The only thing he can rob from me, he can rob my joy. He can rob my peace, and he can rob my reward. And I think if we preach a strong grace message, we have to preach a strong reward message. So my salvation is entirely and only and utterly contingent on the perfect obedience of Christ. But my reward is subject to my own obedience. And there is, the Bible speaks about the fact there can be loss of reward. So Satan can distract us and divert us. But he has no power over me unless I allow him to have it. The dominion of sin and death has gone. This is what Christ has obtained. I didn't do anything. He did everything. I then revel in his victory. And that's the gospel of grace.